It's their fourth meeting this season. Robertson did win their match at the Champion of Champions, but Trump was successful at the Saudi Arabia Masters and at the UK Championship as well. Judd Trump, the defending champion, in fact the 3 times champion, and Robertson was runner-up to him here in 2020. This could easily, of course, have been another final, couldn't it? It's going to be a very interesting match, I think. Tonight we complete the lineup for the quarterfinals of the German Masters. Judd Trump and Neal Robertson going head-to-head once again. A lot of matches to look back on between these two. It's 15-11 to Trump overall. Robertson's last win over him in a ranking event was that UK Championship final that finished in the wee small hours, 10-9, back in 2020. But, of course, he made 4 centuries yesterday, Robertson. He's scoring well. He only won 5-4, that said, against Hamad Mir, but he has got his scoring boots on. Trump, of course, it's almost a surprise if you don't see him in the back end of tournaments these days. So this could be a bit of a thriller. Let's hope so for this crowd. Neal Foulds is with me. It's got to be said, Neal, when they played in the UK Championship, Robertson was not sort of at the races, but maybe playing a bit better here.
Yeah, good to see him back playing well again. You know, he had to, like you say, combine big break making yesterday with a little bit of grafting as well against Hamad Mir, who is a very dangerous player, who's in the sort of bottom reaches of the ranking list. As far as Judd Trump is concerned, I was on commentary of his match with Joe O'Connor. I thought he played very well in that one. He did play well. He was very efficient. But he's made an early mistake there. It's a real classic. You know, we've already seen the battles these two have had. That UK Championship and the Champion of Champions, which Robertson took great pleasure in winning against Judd, best of 11 that night. But a bit of early nerves, it would appear, between them.
Yeah, Trump, he played well against Joe O'Connor. I'm sure he feels he's got to continue, if not raise another level against Robertson. All the memories of the big matches they played. He's only lost 2 frames so far this week, Judd Trump. If he wins tonight, he will be through to his 100th ranking event quarter-final. And the only other players to do that are Sullivan, Higgins, Hendry and Williams. So you're really up among the big hitters. Obviously, they don't play for quarter-finals, they play for trophies, but it just shows just the sheer consistency he's had in recent years. It would actually be his 19th quarter-final from his last 23 ranking events if he were to win tonight.
Yeah, which is an amazing stat, isn't it? Because it's, you know, week in, week out, very difficult to keep being there or thereabouts. We always used to say about Judd that he was quite vulnerable early in the tournament, but clearly that's no longer the case on those stats. And I think he enjoys playing here. You know, it's a venue where your concentration has to be good, especially occasionally on the main table when, you know, the attentions are elsewhere. But the prize is to be here at the weekend, and there's no venue quite like it. Some are very close, but you know, it is a great occasion here. Semi-final and finals weekend at the Tempodrom. Big crowds come along for those days. Atmosphere is absolutely pulsating in this venue. Has he gone far enough there? Because he...
20.
Marcel Eckardt looks suspiciously at the blue ball as if maybe the contact wasn't great. Might have stopped the cue ball running far enough to be on the red. It sounded fine, looked okay, but the cue ball did not behave as it was quite meant to. And as a consequence, he couldn't see enough of the potting angle.
Judd Trump 20.
For Neal Robertson, as deep a run as he can muster will help get his top 16 place back. If he wins tonight, actually provisionally he'll be back inside the 16 in terms of a Crucible seeding. But of course there's a lot of snooker yet to come to determine all of that. Officially he's 20 in the world. Judd Trump doesn't have to worry about any of that. Of course, he's miles in front at number 1.
Yeah, I mean, his all-round game is very strong now. He gets his opponent in quite a lot of trouble with safety. And it isn't the first thing you would think about with Trump, of course, but his safety can be very dangerous, very awkward for his opponents at times. He forced Robertson into a pot here with awkward queuing. Wow, that's fabulous. That's a beautiful shot. The brown was definitely making it awkward to get his natural bridging, but you couldn't see a ball struck any better. That's a good sign for Robertson, not so great for Trump.
Yeah, we know he's scoring well. It was a funny old game yesterday. Hamad Mir is such a terrific potter. And for Robertson to have made 4 centuries and lost would have been a sickener. He won a pretty scratchy decider to come through. But now, of course, he's onto this table, which he hasn't played on yet. Trump's played both his matches on it.
It turned out for the best, that shot, the previous shot, because he looked a little disappointed again with the cue ball that he didn't get the right angle on the black from the previous shot. But when he didn't, it forced him into playing that shot, and he's opened up all the reds now.
17.
Just so many great matches between these two. I mean, the Champion of Champions final 2019 that Robertson won 10-9. There were 8 centuries between them in that match. Of course, Trump beat him first round at the Crucible when Robertson was defending the title 2011.
Can't be a good shot, surely, the one he's played there, because now he's over the top of the red. I can't imagine that he wanted the cue ball precisely where it is. It hasn't stopped him, but every time he plays a shot, there's a slightly surprised look about how the cue ball is reacting. I mean, it seems to be doing everything all right to me, but he's not in complete control of it, I don't think.
33.
Whatever it is, no doubt he will accustom himself to it. The break is continuing, and he would like to think it would be a visit that will take him across the line in frame 1, because he's done a lot of the hard work already.
$39.
Judd Trump, of course, was in, just didn't land on that red as intended, then left the long red on for Robertson. Just on the world rankings, of course, he's not in the World Open because he basically got the wrong day for his qualifier. Thought he was playing the day after he actually was. but he will be in those Players' Series events because on the 1 year list he's in the top 8. So you'd say the probability is he'd be at the Crucible, but he wants to nail it down for sure because last year, of course, he had to qualify and didn't come through.
I think that's where the problems arise, isn't it, for him? And that's where you'd like to think that Sean Murphy, who didn't have as many ranking points as he would like, he could have been out of the 16 for the World Championships, although he's still in this week and he is in those Players' Series events, so he's got a chance to get them, whereas Robertson really was in a fairly hopeless place, a bit like Luca Bracel is, in that he's not going to appear in any of those big events. Because he hasn't had a good season, the Belgian.
$54.
He's kind of landing not quite right on everything here, but the break is continuing, and he got the reds opened up so nicely. He's had a few choices of reds. Amazing,
Neal
isn't
Robertson, 54.
it? In the end, something had to give, and it always looked top jaw. Didn't think it was going to drop. I think he believed it would.
Well, I guess it could be an easier table, but equally the frame could have been over there. It's a sort of meeting between these two. You feel every moment of every frame is important. So much respect between the two of them, so much history.
Yeah, the ball's not particularly favourable now.
8.
But not impossible that he could win the frame here, however.
9.
Not the right part of the pocket to hit them into, but I don't think the pockets have been overly generous this week. I think they've been pretty standard, but that one just about made it, that red earlier. And now he's
16.
got a problem with the red down the right cushion. And, of course, the one below the black. But I think the red in a way down the right cushion is more problematic for Trump, being a left-hander.
17.
I think he'd find it easier to get on the red down the cushion below the black than the other one. Maybe that's the reason he tried to seemingly cannon it out. And he might have thought that had he missed the cannon, he'd been on the other red anyway. But he got neither one thing nor the other there. So a close opening frame seems likely now.
19. Foul and a miss. Neal Robertson.
I don't think the in-off is going to change much. I'm pretty sure it'll go back Don't think it's a free ball either. Although that's what Marcel Eckardt is currently looking at. Just can't see any value in anything but having the balls replaced, especially as he might be able to see the left-hand red full on. Trump, which...
Well, obviously you can hit this side.
Pardon?
You can hit this side, can you? When it's ball in hand? We're talking about free ball, do you?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if...
It's not a free ball, is it, surely?
do I need to be able to hit both sides of that red ball? Because if... Can you...
Let me check that, actually.
I can't imagine it's a free
Yeah,
ball. It looks like there's a huge gap to the left-hand red.
Yeah, I will put one there.
If you put one here,
Yeah.
I mean, it's... To me, quite clear. It's not.
No, I
It's nowhere near
it's
a
not-
free ball.
It's not a free ball. I can check it for you, but
I think you can go this way as well.
yeah.
Just double check, just to be...
You want me to double
You're
check?
right. Just double check.
Okay.
In fact, I think from just by the green, he could get to both sides of the right-hand red anyway.
Yeah. No, I can
Yeah,
still go
you're happy
that
with
way.
that, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we got there anyway, but I couldn't imagine it was going to be a free ball anyhow. And I think, hopefully,
Ollie for the brown, please.
the balls are being replaced. The brown would be the difficult ball. I'm just curious because I saw Marcel looking down the line to that left-hand red before Trump played the shot he did. I don't think he can see full ball contact on that for the 3 strikes rule. It's all quite complicated, all these different things, isn't it?
Well, what I will say is they're in very safe hands here. I think Marcel Eckardt, he's a brilliant referee. And, I mean, he sorted that out actually pretty quickly. I know, obviously, the free ball took a while, but that's because of Neal Robertson.
I agree, he's a good referee. Does it properly. And we've got contact with the second anyway now, although the red is, well, surely not. I mean, you just couldn't make it up, could you? I mean, after all that, he's potted the red.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible, actually.
Doesn't want to be straight on this last red. And it's amazing, that shot, you know, I mean, it's tremendously played. Any shot of that kind, so often you'd finish with quite a straight angle. Because, of course, straight means it's very hard to get from red to colour without really forcing the red, and then, of course, the red becomes missable. Any angle whatsoever was so much better for Trump there than he had.
Trump.
But been lucky again.
It sort of feels like we started with a decider, but like I say, with these two, it feels like every frame is really significant. Feels like it's red ball game. We'll see if that's the case or not. But everything else is in the open.
Well, clearly he's got the very easy one cushion escape to roll up to the red, but he doesn't particularly want to play that because you get the feeling that even if he makes contact with the red, he'd be in trouble again on the next shot. But he has no choice, it seems, but to play off that cushion, playing it at pace instead. Well, he's got an easy snooker behind the brown if he wants to, but he might fancy chipping this red along the cushion into the top right pocket instead. The snooker looks to be not so much unmissable, but it's a question of where he leaves the red in getting the snooker behind the brown. It's a pretty safe shot, I think. Advantage trump, definitely, despite being 12 behind. Well, not advantage trump now, because that was very well played by Robertson. Just making sure we've got the red safe there, playing it to the cushion.
Oh, the lady there making sure she's not missing any of the action. Of course, there's 3 tables tonight. It feels like a slightly different event, doesn't it? Because we've had as many as 7 going on, but obviously the field's narrowed. There was morning play. And of course, because sadly Ricky Walden had to withdraw, Wu Yizer and Alexander Ursenbacher had the whole arena to themselves. Had the main table, nothing else happening.
Well, it looks like he's got to play it with some left-hand side. I mean, down the line of it, it appears that he can't get to any part of the red without some side or playing off cushions. He's playing it left of centre, so he's playing the little swerve. He made a good effort there to keep things safe, but I think that lady will notice that the red is available.
So Robertson has won the battle on the red. Of course, he's already in front in the frame. 18 with the blue, so yellow and green required. Trump had that big fluke, but maybe that in the end it's not made that much difference. But it's already a really interesting match.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of good players still in this event, but, you know, there's a strong argument that whoever wins this match could win the German Masters this year. Such is the quality of these two.
11.
Absolutely, and in between them, they've won 78 professional titles, 54 of them ranking events. So, you know, these are two of the most successful players of the last decade.
15.
But something has to give here in the last 16 tonight, and it's going to be first blood to the Australian.
20.
So, yeah, the whole frame really came down to the last red. And as I say, Robertson won that battle and he's won the frame. 5 needed for place in the quarterfinals here at Berlin of the German Masters. Neal Robertson leads Judd Trump 1-0.
The second frame. Neal Robertson took it.
Neal Robertson 1-0 up against Judd Trump. Neal Robertson, OAM, he's been awarded the Order of Australia medal, which is, I guess, the equivalent to the MBE as we would have in the UK for his services to the game. I know he's very, very proud of that because, of course, he's been away from his home country for really the last 20 years, pursuing his career, and what a great career he's had. Thoroughly deserved recognition. Judd Trump himself has been the recipient of the MBE.
Well, obviously a mistake, but the opening red to get onto a colour that Trump is faced with won't be easy. That red goes up the table and ends up fairly straight to the yellow pocket. So, quality rest shot has got to be played here. It's absolutely straight, as you can see. But playing it with speed and getting the cue ball back out of the bulk end in somewhere in behind either the blue or top side of the yellow or green. It's got to be played well. Pretty good shot, that. I'm sure that's how he played it, because he wouldn't have wanted the black to be down there, but it was one way of hitting the black and staying on the red. And it will actually end up clearing the black spot here, so I think that was a pretty good shot that Trump played. So improvised a little there. Everything jumped there. I don't know what happened. He actually missed one of those yesterday. It's the only ball I think he missed, I can recall of any note, against Joe O'Connor. He missed a red a bit like that, and it seemed to just jump, as this one did. Not sure what happened.
Yeah, look where it finished as well.
1.
Well, that's worked out pretty good. The red has just come to the left of the blue.
I mean, he really gave that everything he had. His whole body moved, but he was trying to get so much cue speed in behind it so he could get the bunch open.
7.
Well, black back on its spot would certainly help.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, this shot, but if he gets it, you know, it's a good chance again, as he had early in frame 1. He's tidying up the table for sure with the blue and that red, making things a bit difficult down the centre.
14.
Yeah, he can run this through onto the black to the opposite corner.
15.
He's a funny guy, Neal. We know that he cuts things fine, and you know at times didn't make it at all. But coming out here, he got to the airport 2 hours early, and he said it was a whole new world. He sort of sat
22.
in the coffee shop, sort of pondering the fact that he wasn't panicking about getting there.
24.
But on the table, you can't question the intensity, the focus. Of course, these are the only 2 players who have made 100 centuries in a single season. Robertson 103, Trump 102. You need a lot of focus for that.
Well, this time the cue ball has sort of ploughed through that little cluster of reds to the point where it's not obvious which red is available. I don't think anything goes to the left corner of those 5 behind the pink. It's come to double check that now. So the reddy's going to have to play this first red into the right corner. Not what he wanted to be playing. So this has got the potential to have gone wrong quite early, this break. Clearly, it does not like the look of the red that he might have played to the right corner. Now he's unsure what to play, it seems, for the best.
Robertson 30.
So the break ends, Robertson just didn't like anything there. Sean Murphy's levelled up with Yuan Sijun, 1 each. And still 1-0 Aaron Hill over Tom Ford. 3 matches in progress, so it's a little less busy for the players. There's less sort of distractions in their eye line, and I guess a bit easier for the crowd as well to focus on what's actually happening. Tomorrow, 2 tables in the afternoon, 2 at night. The main match in the afternoon is Corin Wilson, Anthony McGill. Of course, memorable matches in the past between those this season, actually, in Northern Ireland, but obviously the Crucible is the one everyone remembers in 2020. Just an update, Aaron Hill actually just gone 2-0 up on Tom Ford.
Great pot. Might just tickle behind the brown here. Doesn't want to risk missing this brown and leaving himself almost out of the frame.
Judd Trump 1.
So, because the reds, I think, are fairly away from cushions, and because of this long red, you know, he's earned himself an opportunity, perhaps, depending on what happens with this next shot, because Robertson is in a spot of bother here, not just because he's snookered, but, as I say, because it's quite hard to keep the ball safe when he does hit one. Well, he thought about it for a long time, and he's left plenty, quite honestly. It was difficult. I don't know what he was hoping for, but, I mean, just look at the damage he's done. And, of course, Judd Trump earned this chance with that red into the green pocket a couple of shots back. And what a chance it is.
1. Eight. Nine.
Trump has won this German Masters title 3 of the last 5 years. One of them, of course, had to be played in Milton Keynes. But he was talking before the event about how much he enjoys this arena and the atmosphere. It's not full, but at the weekend when we're at one table, we expect it to be.
$16. Yeah. $18. $19.
Yeah, the natural angle on that was to take the cue ball very close to the black ball, but he potted it into the left side of the pocket and played it with left-hand side. I don't think he could have got any further to the right on that shot than how he played it in the end.
$26. $27.
Yeah, good shot. It's a good chance. I mean, I think the couple of reds to the right that are close to each other, they may be a plant to the right corner. If they're not that simple to get on. But I think they're far enough apart to be made into a plant if Trump wants to go down that route.
33.
Yeah, they're offline, as you saw there.
34.
Failing that, you know, they're not the simplest to get position on unless you do something like that or move one of them. Yeah, I mean, there is... Where he's finished is quite good, actually. It's given him a chance to play the top red of the two, or there's certainly the red to middle. So he's still got a slight problem here. And what is the route? Is he going to try and leave the plan? Or perhaps play a cannon and move the left-hand red of the two and beyond the one below it? It's not entirely straightforward, this. So he's gone with the cannon. Well, that's worked out well. I don't think he could have asked for a lot more than that. He's on the red, thin in contact. He wanted a full ball contact on the left-hand red, as I said, and he didn't quite get that. Maybe he feels he can't pot the other one. I think there's a chance he's going to refuse it. It would be very thin seeing it again to pot it to the right corner. The frame seems to live on here. So he's going to have to play safe, pushing the red down the table. He didn't expect to finish where he did, I suppose. And
46.
he found difficulty there with those couple of reds, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit like the first frame, isn't it? Which actually came down to the last red. Robertson was ahead in that occasion. Trump 23 in front here. Another little tactical duel coming up.
Yeah, I think when Robertson escaped from that snooker he was in and left a choice of reds, I suspect he felt that the frame might be gone, but he is still in there.
One.
Well, it's early in the match, isn't it? But you know, if he could win this frame, and this red would have gone a long way to achieving that, you know, it'd feel like a psychological blow that he's inflicted on Judd Trump, the way that he probably could have lost both of the frames, Robertson. Still got the problem of getting in behind the brown ball. So needs an angle on this green. Well, it's okay, but the brown to blue has still got to be achieved here. And that will be the last difficult shot, I think, in the break. I think he's played it well. It doesn't mean he's going to get it, but the angle is there. He hasn't got to worry about getting on the blue, because if he pots the brown, he'll be on it anyway.
It
was noticeable, the big roar that went up when he potted that long red. He's got a lot of support here.
Yeah, I'll say it again, Dave. Trump was in it really much with a great chance. And those last couple of reds were just proving to be a bit of a stumbling block for him. He probably should have won this frame.
It's just a very different match for Trump tonight. Just the history between them, the big finals they've played. It's always an occasion, I think, when these two played. It's maybe added an edge of pressure.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a stretch for Robertson, this shot. And now he's got to use the rest instead.
In it goes, though, and he needs the black as well. At the moment, Trump could still tie. Black for 2-0. Two very interesting frames. They could have gone either way. Oh, and it's not done. It hit the near jaw. Wow, so this is looking very much like a respot. What a big moment.
Well, you felt he'd done all the hard work there, even the pink. I didn't think he would miss that black at any stage.
So the black comes back on to decide what's already been a dramatic frame. More so now. Robertson set about making what would have been a terrific clearance, but as I say, it's a respot.
It's tail. Neal, your choice. Yep.
Robertson wins the toss. Trump is put into bat.
I mean, there was a school of thought, I never really agree with it, that if you win the toss now, you should play it yourself. But it would never have come to that had this gone in. It's quite rare to see Robertson miss crucial shots, I think. It's not something he's known for, missing pretty easy game balls. I mean, it was a black off the spot, wasn't it? It was no more than that.
Different sort of shot, but of course Trump missed that pink, didn't he, to effectively win the UK final between them.
Yeah. That was a very dramatic match in front of nobody, wasn't it? The extraordinary in that Milton Keynes for that game. Anyway, this is only an early frame in this match, but Trump needs to find a way of scrambling over the line and winning it now.
Wow, that cue ball was very close to the corner.
Yeah, it would have been unlucky. You can sometimes see that shot going off. You get right in behind the black and it does what it did there. can expect some quality safety play on this final black between this pairing. That is absolutely rock solid, that shot from Robertson.
You know, it's only frame 2, but it feels huge just because Robertson, you know, missed that black for 2-0. A frame where Trump had made the running. Suddenly a lifeline's been thrown to him.
Yeah, I mean, whatever he looks at here, if he tries to get the black up and down the table, the double kiss is always on. And then, of course, you lose all control. Trying to push the black up and down the middle of the table, that is not a shot that's played that often these days. But it does bring about the double kiss. Oh, he tried to double or treble it. Surely he's not going in there, is it? Don't tell me that. Oh, well, I mean, I don't think he's particularly unlucky, but he would have been extraordinarily lucky had he quadrupled it.
Well, time stood still, didn't it? But the fact is it's now over the pocket for Neal Robertson, who could have won this frame a while ago. What drama. We've only had 2 frames. Neal Robertson will be very relieved. He extends his lead here in this exciting encounter to 2-0. Judd Trump could be 2-0 up himself. He's had chances, but just under a bit of early pressure here.
Thank you. Settle down, please. The 3rd frame. To Trump.
If he'd have fluked that black, the respot, it might have been the longest distance a ball's ever travelled to be potted. It seemed to go all round the table several times.
Well, it would have been a quadruple, wouldn't it? Because, you know, you almost seemed to treble it into the bottom left, or... I mean, it all worked out well for Robertson. I don't think I've ever seen a ball do that up and down the table 4 times like that. But anyway, Robertson will have been pleased to see that left over the pocket after the black he missed. Yeah, but he hit the bunch too thin, and that's why he crashed into the other red. Yeah, I mean, if you think about those first 2 frames, you always hear, well, I could have won both of them and I lost them both. But if ever you could level that argument, it would be about those 2 frames. Could easily have been 2-0 the other way. But they both were decided very late on.
Yeah, no problem.
But now Judd, with this early chance in frame 3, has got to get this show on the road, I think. He nearly missed this red.
Eight.
He's always been very good at kind of keeping breaks going when things have gone slightly wrong. And there was an example. I mean, how he ended up over that ball. But he played it pretty well. is a good opportunity. And I think getting on that red above
11.
and to the left of the black that he's now looking at kind of opens the door a little bit. But again, cue ball a little short of pace. He's not in complete control of it yet.
$19. $20.
Well, if he plays the blue, it looks like he might have to just nudge a red or two without even, wanting to. Almost the way he's got to do it, because the reds are quite well spread, but he seems to have to hit one here without any real say in the matter. And he's played it pretty well. It was well worked, but it has been
25.
maybe more difficult than when the chance came, you might have thought. Just dropping onto some reds here, that was the only plan.
$26. $31. $32. $39. $40.
Once again, up the table without able to stay on the high value colours. But this is a typical Trump break, It's he seems happy enough just keeping it going,
44.
seeing it as a bit of a challenge.
$45.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of plays what in theory are pressure shots as if they're not. It's not like sort of ding, sort of keeping banging on every shot, but it's effective, my word. Judd Trump out in front on centuries, 67 this season.
52.
Of course, there is a prize of 100,000 if a player gets to 100. So that's a possibility.
$53.
But what he's trying to do here is just kill this frame off. Just get a foothold in the match after what's happened so far.
$59. $60.
Yeah, it's a good shot to get the two reds away from the pink, but again, he's slightly wrong side of the blue with not loads more to do now. It's been interesting 3 frames. Been a few shots missed, a few terrific shots as well. But now he's played that positional shot, the frame surely will be his.
Yeah, and this has been very impressive because he's played it as if it was frame one, as if, you know, what happened actually hadn't happened. Just wiped his mind and got on with it. Robertson was hoping to press on after winning that, what felt like a big second frame. But yeah, now because having secured the frame, he does want a century, but it's just gone a little awkward now to continue. So, quick fire 72. Robertson, he's not coming back to the table. And in no time at all, Judd Trump gets on the scoreboard, putting aside the disappointment of the second frame by winning the third decisively. Robertson's lead reduced to 2-1. Quick fire, third frame went to Judd Trump. He was annoyed he didn't make the century, but he'll be more satisfied to be on the scoreboard. So Neal Robertson leads 2-1. This is the last before the interval. They're playing for a place in the quarterfinals of the German Masters here at the Tempodrom in Berlin. Yeah, it's a good frame from Trump. It's not just that, you know, he has the belief. He's just so sharp. You know, he's playing all the time. He puts a lot of work in away from tournaments. You know, he was at the Championship League last week. He had 4 real solid days of play there. Be back there next week for the winners group. So doesn't really take time off, apart from obviously between seasons, which is fair enough. Not playing in the Welsh Open, but I think that's more a geographical thing because, of course, he's living out. Well, he sort of splits his time between Dubai and Hong Kong, and obviously that's not close to Llandudno. He's going back out for the World Open and then the World Grand Prix there.
What a clean pot, first of all. I mean, absolutely rocketed into the centre of the pocket. But and he wanted to get the cue ball down a little further than to be on the black because he's worried about the red at the bottom of the bunch. He didn't want to leave that. And he knew he couldn't be sure of getting the pot. There you can see that red hanging out the bottom of the bunch. Well, this is very good. And if he can pot the next red and get him in, it's a good passage of play for Trump.
8. No.
He's not in the Welsh Open, obviously means he can't win that Bet Victor Series bonus, 150,000. He's trousered that a couple of times over the years, but in fact, Neal Robertson, he's leading the way in that at the moment. There's several people who can win it, Karen Wilson included. There's a lot to keep on top of these days, isn't there? There's a lot of always incentives to be doing well.
Yes, I'm surprised he's missing the Welsh because if you go back also, I mean, it probably doesn't bother him now because he's living in all these different places, but Yeah, he used to do particularly well in Llandudno, where the event is. He won a number of events up there, the World Grand Prix and a few others at that particular venue, which I know that he always liked. But anyway, you can't be everywhere. That's basically all it amounts to, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm sure in the back of his mind he is trying to, you know, stay as fresh as he can for the Crucible. Which is, Alan McManus informs me is 80 days away.
Well, I mean, I'm not making excuses for Trump, but, you know, we've thought he'd win more than one world title in his career, but he's still at one. And I honestly feel that 2 or 3 times since he won it, he's gone to the Crucible almost snookered out to me. Easy afterwards. We haven't known that at the time, but he's not played well there all that often. I know he's been in the final since, but 1 or 2 of the other years, he didn't quite look like he had much left. Certainly that applied to last year, I felt. Anyway, the break might end here.
28. Judd, 28.
Well, has he left a plant? Is that what he's not happy, chuntering about something there? I can only think that he feels there's a plant on. Yeah, there is, and that's why Robertson was not happy. I mean, it's a set plant, wasn't it? It wasn't going to be missed, and I think with the shot that Robertson played, it just seemed to occur as a result of it.
Judd, 1.
Just looking to see if that red is on. I think that's on as well. The moment, Robertson seems unable to stem the flow here, because every time Trump comes back to the table, there's something to go at. So it's all Trump, although he's not winning the match. Well, the Reds are going to be knocked all over the place here. It's unavoidable. He's going to have to play it. I mean, he could screw it in and out of the bunch, or he could, you know, try and topspin it through all the Reds, plough it through them. It's more of an exhibition shot, but of course he will play some of those shots in live play. So he's gone to the top of the ball, so he should really go through the Reds here. That is amazing, really. You couldn't make that up how, you know, 1 minute he's on the blue, maybe even the pink over the middle, and the next thing the red has hit the pink, and then a lot of those options are now completely gone, unless he plays the black, which he doesn't want to do, but that would be, I suppose, the most likely pot, but it could cost him the frame. So I suppose when you let the balls run around like he did off that shot to open the Reds, anything's possible, but he's unlucky to finish there. I mean, he could play the blue, but it looks to me right over the top of the pink, so it's not nice.
Judd Trump, 9.
There would be frustrations there for Trump because he was just getting the upper hand, and now he's not by any means put this frame away. Well, we've seen the plant that is on again, second in a short period of time, this time for Robertson. Another one that could not be missed, really. He's not played it very well, though, has he, to go into the blue?
1. Robertson, 1.
Robertson with a dead plant, only making 1 from there, to his frustrations. A very confident pot, that. At that kind of distance, cue ball was close to the cushion. It's worked out quite well. providing the black passes the red, which I feel it must do. Well, it does pass. I mean, the red's not really in the way, but it might just appear that way from behind the line of the shot where Neal is standing. But as you can see, it went comfortably.
Well, the only really fluent frame has been won by Judd Trump. That was the last one, but Robertson trying to get his teeth into this one. Obviously, he'd be delighted with 3-1 at the interval. He hasn't sort of hit the height scoring-wise of yesterday, but it's not about that. It's about getting to 5.
Yeah, I mean, he may have played that, you know, just to glance the pink away from that red, because that was going to be troublesome, I think, where it was positioned further down the line. Just to nudge off that pink, and then the red becomes exposed. This is below it.
Yeah. One.
Well, that's okay. It's not too bad.
28.
Again, the colour not quite achieved as he meant to, but becoming another interesting frame, not dissimilar to frames 1 and 2. Going to end on the colours, no doubt. It's not a good shot, though, is it? Goodness. How has he ended up doing that? Didn't mean to hit the red. He's put it safe, and he's not on a colour. It could hardly have gone worse. So now it looks considerably less likely to win the frame from here.
Robertson, 29.
So this frame really very much like the first two, coming down to a couple of reds in the colours.
Foul near Robertson 4.
Well, it always looked in, but it took a bit longer to drop than I expected.
Oh, but that one holds on. Just holds on.
From where he was, that was a good safety shot. Well, the subplot there was that the black has gone right across in front of the red. He may have left this red on, but where the black has finished up, there's not any real future in the break, I don't think, unless he could somehow shift them. I don't know what he can do here. I mean, if anyone could make a big shot, it'd be Trump. Whether he could cut this in and go up and down and then move the red and black. Well, he's not even potted the red. It's become a slightly odd frame now, this one. Question of whether he can push that first red past the black and get a snooker, but it depends if both reds will go further down the table than the line of where the black is. It's all a little bit complex in there now.
Just gone 4-0 to Aaron Hill over Tom Ford, so what a terrific week the Cork man is having, and just one more needed when they come back after the interval. 2-2 still. Sean Murphy and Johan Sejun, they're about to restart. But as for this frame, it's going to take some sorting out now. Well, suddenly that's changed things. At least this red's come out into play. I guess Trump could get him in trouble if he pots it.
He could do it. He'd like to, you know, somehow engineer a way of winning the frame at this visit, clearly. I mean, I'm not sure that he could shift the red and the black very easily. But surely he has to play the red to right middle and then hope for way onto the movement of the red and the black ball. can take the points here and hope to play a threatening shot on the last red. I think he's hoping to be able to get the snooker, leave the cue ball where the red is, and hope the red doubles across and ends up snooker behind the black. But he has to be mindful of the double kiss, because he's got to avoid the double kiss on the red and hope that the red just goes into an area behind the black now, down on the left side of the table. Yeah, he's played it pretty well, hasn't he? Unless it goes in, of course. This is a very strange frame, isn't it? This is some dark forces, I think, emerging in this frame. He may have played that, I suppose, but the snooker was very much in his sights as well. I mean, the whole setup of the shot was to get the snooker, and I suppose the red trebling was a bonus. Here it is again. Now he's got the snooker, whatever happens, but might have been even better prize. So when he came to the table and the red and the black were fairly tied up, didn't seem that this was going to be a frame-winning chance.
Yeah, I think Robertson will be a bit frustrated at the interval, 2-0, but he hasn't sort of achieved much fluency tonight. 54 his highest break. Trump ran through the third frame. He's clearly got to be the happier of the two to be level, because he was 2-0 down. But it's been a very interesting match, and plenty more to come tonight. These two might have to be prized apart. Trump just didn't quite get on the blue. So one snooker needed, but he's put
19.
Robertson in one.
Very difficult task where the pink and black are to consider getting snookers behind them. He's taking a long time looking at a pretty hopeless situation here. He's just got to hit the blue. There's not much more he could hope for, and now he wants another snooker, and I suspect that's the end of the frame, isn't it? He's swimming against the tide a little bit.
I think what we have seen from Trump's perspective, he doesn't have to be playing, you know, what they call the old naughty snooker all the time. He's become a very tough match player. Robertson, though, you know, he made the mistake, didn't he, leaving the penultimate red on the way he did. As I say, he'll be a bit frustrated maybe not to be further in front, but he's very much in the match. Don't go knocking the pink in, Judd, my word. That's the problem when you hit them that hard, things can happen. And actually, the score was wrong on the screen. He's actually 28 behind, not 26, so that makes it even harder. And he's potted the blue, so this is going to be very tough now.
Well, I mean, he never
Neal Robertson,
see that, getting two snookers on the pink and black, and he's conceded, Dave.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a tough old match. Judd Trump giving the cue ball a bit of a stare, but he'd be happy enough that from 2-0 down, he's achieved parity at the interval. Plenty more to come between these two as they go to the interval level at 2 each. Continues, but you can see now Trump and Robertson back, and this is set up very nicely at 2 each. Judd Trump was 2-0 down, 2-0 Robertson, lost the second on a respotted black, but has managed to fight back to 2 each. It's best of 9, it's a last 16 match here to take on either Shaun Murphy or Yuan Sijun tomorrow in the quarterfinals. It would be Judd Trump's 100th ranking event quarterfinal were he to come through. But from what we've seen, I suspect we're going to have plenty more snooker yet this evening.
It wouldn't surprise you at all if this match went all the way to a ninth frame on the balance of what we've seen. I suppose with Robertson 2-0 up and both frames could have gone either way, he won't have been all that pleased about going to the interval level, but you feel that there isn't on the night a great deal between this pair.
Following the miss, Neal Robertson.
Well, he's got the line of the shot and it's going to go back, no doubt. He'll keep on the same line and I'm sure he'll get very close to hitting it this time.
I think I forgot, sorry. Sorry. Ollie.
Well, I think he's going to have to get a check because I think for now Marcel has lost the line of it, which is not easy to remember where all these balls are, is it? It's got to go up a little bit.
It's Olivier Martial, the marker, who's got the answers on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Sorted out very quickly. Yeah, Marcel, he lives in Berlin, about 40 minutes away from the venue, so doesn't have to stay in the hotel.
Call Neal Robertson. 4.
Well, with the ball in hand here, he's deciding that he's going to take on a long red. Of course, you can put the cue where you want to, and he's putting it absolutely straight.
1.
Well, it didn't go in dead straight, did it? It went in to the right of the pocket as we look. It's funny because when you see Robertson on that shot, you see that, you know, most players favour a certain eye. He's right-eyed, but actually he seems to be so far across that his eye is not even in line with the cue itself.
You okay up there?
Oh dear, well, some noise off and hopefully nobody's been hurt by that.
Thank you.
Maybe someone just fell down or something, but anyway, all is well, I think.
Seven.
Robertson likes to sort of look at all the stats in the interval. I wonder if he'd be looking to maybe pick the pace up a bit. His average shot time, according to the WST website, is over 30 seconds. As I say, he's only had 1/2 century. I mean, sometimes the balls just go awkward, but certainly we know how he is at his best when he's fluent and attacking, and you know, can look as good as anyone doing that.
Eight. $14.
That's well worked as long as the red doesn't get in the way of the blue. And isn't it mad how that sort of thing can happen? I know he's on the pink, but there's one ball that can just interfere with the set plan there. And he's managed to get in the way. I think playing the pink ball down towards other reds should be okay, but it's not as easy as what he had in mind.
The English Open success he had this season, that was ranking event 24. Judd Trump's won 30. And in between them, Steve Davis and Mark Williams. It didn't quite signal a sort of general return for Robertson. He did get back in the top 16, but then slipped out again. So for the rest of the season, that's the aim, to just bed in that crucible seeding. And of course, if you're winning tournaments, you'll do that. He always did well in the Players Series, didn't he? I mean, he's going to be in those. He'll be a big threat in those events. They seem sort of tailor-made for him. He's won all three, actually.
29.
Again, Neal was running up the table,
35.
but the break is still going, albeit it's been a little trickier than it might have been.
36.
Of course, made difficult because the black has been now to the cushion for the most part. And the two reds above the black are not helping either, so you know the reds have been quite well spread, but as you can see, they're kind of in each other's way on that side where Robertson is pointing his cue currently. But all the time the lead is growing. No, I'd be enraged by that. I mean, he put a lot of thought into getting the cannon on the red, but he's kind of gone around the back of the red a little bit. He didn't have to play that shot either, you know. There were other options. He could have surely got back up the table somehow. Anything but what he did. He tried a very delicate shot and it's backfired. And now he's going to have to play the black, which, of course, now he's 50 in front. He doesn't really want to move anyway. So significantly, the break ends, but you know, you could just see Trump getting back into this frame if Robertson isn't careful. And try and put the black onto the other side cushion at least, so it's fairly safe.
42.
Yeah, it just feels a bit of a frustrating match for Robertson, just not able to get into a flow, just things going wrong here and there.
Yeah, and then I know the black's safe, but now that those two reds have been moved away from the black spot, you know, a chance that Trump could get could easily be a frame winner now. Table's opened up a lot.
Sean Murphy's levelled up 3-3 with Jan Sejun, meanwhile. (4-1) Aaron Hill over Tom Ford, and Ford's ahead in the next.
So what I mean to say is it's quite dangerous. I know that perhaps it's not going to be easy for Trump from here, but you know, that kind of pot that he could knock in could get him right back into the frame. On this occasion, I'm not sure it's going to help him that much, that red. Just wonder if he's got any interest in pushing the yellow onto the black to bring the black into play here in playing safe. I mean, it's a big shot to play. He doesn't necessarily have to do it, but I think he just looked down at the black. I think he's going to play something different.
Trump won.
And he's trusting on the table, and he's got the snooker. Sometimes it's quite difficult to play that roll up from along the bulk line. Well, dangerous. You hit just about enough of that red to make it either not cuttable or very, very thin. As far as the other red on the left, it's the same story. He's over the top of a ball. It's not nice, but it will cut back. So what can he make of this chance? He's brought the black into play. That's a brilliant shot. And despite not being quite right on the blue, if he could land behind a red from his next colour, then all of a sudden he's bang in the frame again. Played into a very dangerous area, didn't he, there? One where he had a choice of about 4 or 5 reds that he could be on. And this red, if he could reach it, the ball he's closest to would be the most difficult red got out of the way, but he feels it's the red up to the green pocket instead. Yeah, we were right behind it. It was never quite there, was it? So that was a chance, maybe a half chance, but it's been squandered.
One.
Well, Robertson well in front in the frame. Can he now bring this home? It's been kind of typical of the match in a way. It's been hard fought. Trump had the chance there, certainly to counter-attack, having brought the black into play.
He's been taking quite a long time, as you can see, a minute 20 on this. He looked at 3 different possible colours. The lead now 50 points, so more to do. Couple more reds required from here. And this is a stretch across the table, this one.
Needs one more red after this blue. Another hard-fought frame. Hard-fought match, full stop. Another check of the scores. But as I say, the red is the ball that will leave Trump needing snookers.
Yes, and he knew, didn't he? He just made sure of it. And he's going to fall behind again, it seems, although you just feel there's a lot more to be seen in this match with Trump battling hard. It's not really been his frame, this one. Green on the side cushion. Trump
Neal Robertson. 13.
Probably feels obliged to carry on. I mean, there are possibilities. 2 snookers.
1.
So that red surely removes any doubt, and Neal Robertson goes back in front.
Robertson 1 under frame.
Yeah, Judd Trump has seen enough. So he did have a chance, didn't he? But he missed that red to the green pocket, and Robertson relieved. But he is back in front at 3-2, needing 2 more frames to advance to the quarterfinals here in Berlin. Thursday night at the Tempodrom here in Berlin, where Judd Trump trails Neal Robertson 3-2. Trump had that one fluent frame, the third, but other than that, it's been the similar pattern. Every frame really has been quite hard fought. Robertson not scoring either. It's been a battle. A lot of respect between them, a lot of history, big matches, finals. And I think that's playing its part. We sometimes build up the matches between the big hitters as being sort of, you know, barnstorming affairs, and they often are, but sometimes it can go the other way. Anyway, Robertson in front as he breaks off here in frame 6. One final they did play in was the Australian Open back in 2014. Trump won 9-5. Obviously, that was a real disappointment for Robertson not to win his home event. Sadly, that tournament no longer on the calendar. Well, it's a sort of red you fancy him for, but obviously if you don't get it, it's out of your hands where it's going to finish. But he's left it on.
Yeah, you lose all control, don't you, of where the object ball is going to go once you miss the pot. Often it will go safe, but not always. It's a good little chance, this. Black spot seems fairly clear.
1. Six. Seven.
Well, not quite as far as he wanted to go. He just flicked the red, of course. Seems that it's unavoidable that he hit the red now below the black, and that's the worry he's got here. He just clipped the red. I think he played 2, but he was also mindful he could go too far and be snookered. But it's just a question of when the cue ball, where's the cue ball going to go after he's potted it? And he couldn't avoid the red. That was the problem. So now what does he do? He's not made all that many from this visit. Which came to the table, he came to the table looking like there was a few on.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the story of the night, really, for both. You know, a lot of openings that haven't really led to the sort of breaks that we used to see in between them. As I said earlier, the only 2 players in the history of the sport to have made a century of centuries in a single season. But nothing better between them than a 72 this evening. In fact, Robertson did it against Trump, didn't he, at the Crucible in their quarter-final back in 2014. Celebrated, she was entitled to, but I think Judd Trump was that Impressed? Because obviously there was a match to be won. More on his mind. One of many great matches between them down the years. And they contain so many great long pots like that one from Trump. So he's in again. Can he get something going here? Let's try and keep position this time.
Well, the way the bunch of reds are, with that bottom red sticking out, you know, you can easily end up seeing the cue will go up the other end of the table. So that's why he's played it quite gently. I think he's on a red to middle, but I don't think the cannon went as he planned it to.
16.
Everything's a little bit intricate in there at the moment. Not easy to get the balls open and scoring. It's another awkward little shot. No, he's played it well, that. I mean, he's on the black a little high, but it's still a good shot. And I wonder if he's got the shot here right-handed to just hit into the left-hand red of the two close together. Yeah, that's what he's done. He's freed up the entire table. That's a very good couple of shots in a row. That's changed the frame.
24.
Yeah, he always had a couple of reds available, so open a few more up.
32.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's very happy with that, where it's finished, though. Whether he can get to that red to right middle or another ball, yeah, to be potted over the top of a ball of awkward cueing. This red, I mean, he's very good at those shots, Trump. But if he could play the red to middle, he'd much prefer to. So he's very good at these shots, but no one's saying that this is an easy shot by any means for anybody. And that's why he's missed it. It's the bridge too far.
32.
And he may have left a red directly into that right corner, which means the frame is possibly going to change power here in favour of the Australian.
Well, while he looks at this, Tom Ford is coming back strong. He was 4-0 down at the interval to Aaron Hill. He's had breaks of 60, 55 and 58, so it's 4-3. Pressure on young Aaron. Still 3-3 Murphy and Yuan Sijun.
One.
Well, there was a look of surprise on Robertson's face there when he rolled that red in. It didn't seem to be much visually wrong with it, but he didn't see it that way. I mean, this is a potential match-changing contribution, isn't it? If you could take this frame from long odds when Trump was in and go 2 up with 3 to play. So it's a big little contribution, this.
9.
You know, can he get over the line here?
16. 17.
I think certainly the dynamic has kind of changed in their rivalry when it began. Of course, Robertson was the established player. He'd been winning tournaments, world champion, of course, in 2010. But now Trump is well clear in the rankings, winning tournament after tournament. And it's up to the other players to kind of stop him in any given week, because Robertson, again, just looks to open things up going into the Reds here.
$31. $32.
Well, that was not the best time for a banging sound like that. You may have just spotted the extra points gone on Trump's score. 46 is correct. It was displayed as that in the venue, but the graphic is correct currently. 46 is what he's on, but the biggest worry for Judd is not what his score is. It's what Neal Robertson is going to end up with here, because it's a good chance now.
$38. $44. $45.
Yes, I mean, he's got the red out. He's just at that slightly uncomfortable distance away from his next ball. And, of course, he's playing with his hand on the cushion. And while these players are the best in the business, you know, shots like this can go wrong. Always better when you've got your hand on the table, under the cushion, cueing down on the ball. Things can go wrong with these shots, but he's played it very positively. And now, you just look at the red that's next to the black. And it's a question of if it pots into the left corner, I think would make life a lot easier. Past the black, I think it probably does.
$52.
But he's not on the blue quite right to play the shot. Yeah, the black glides past there, or the red does. So anything down that right channel, you know, he'll be on this. Stun it round the angles here, all the way round. And it's by no means perfect from there. This is awkward.
56.
Really good pot. Yeah, it feels like one of the most important ones of the evening, actually, because we've had a couple of frames where, you know, on the last red it's ended up a struggle, but it feels like a big frame. Judd Trump was in. He took the chance. He had a couple of reds free, decided to open more up, but he landed awkward on actually the one that he needed to keep the break going, missed it, and Neal Robertson has stepped in.
59. $61.
And this is his highest break of the evening.
64.
Just the way that Trump, he was on a red, and it was, you expected him to get it, but he was queuing over a ball. He usually knocks them in, but we were saying at the time, you know, they're never going to be much fun playing from over the top of a ball. And when he left the table, this is a shot, but when he walked away, he realised he'd left the red just below the pink, and that was the biggest
73.
sickener of all, really. So that's why he's in trouble now.
79.
Yeah, and Robertson looking confident again. Got on with this break as well. The highest of the evening, 86 the clearance from the Melbourne man. So Neal Robertson is a frame away from the quarterfinals. The pressure transfers again to the defending champion, Judd Trump. So for the second time, Neal Robertson is 2 frames clear, but of course now he's 1 from victory and a place in the quarterfinals. Judd Trump needs the last 3 to keep his title defence on track. Keeping an eye on all the tables here. Aaron Hill has a chance to get it won against Tom Ford. He's well in front in the 8th frame. Still 3-3 between Sean Murphy and Yuan Sijun. So they're all really coming to the boil here. You can see Aaron Hill there still at the table. Not too far. He's 60 in front. In fact, 66 in front. And Tom Ford does need snookers. So it looks like Hill, he's going to get the job done.
Neal Robertson. 4.
Well, that's gone horribly wrong. He needs the red to just pass the middle pocket, which it has done at least. But for once, that, you know, the radar at long range has not been very Trump-like. You know, he's often brilliant, isn't he? A great potter, but few of them he's missed by a long way.
Well, you can hear the applause for Aaron Hill. He was put under it by Tom Ford, who came back from 4-0 to 4-3, but a terrific one visit to win it. So every credit to him, and that's him through to his 2nd ever ranking quarter-final as Neal Robertson knocks in the long red, and he gets his first chance in the frame he needs to join him.
He just might have got a little glimpse, if you could cast your eyes on it, of Aaron Hill really punching in the air for that win. He was so pleased to be playing tomorrow, getting down to the business end of this event.
Yeah, he'll be playing Jagudong tomorrow afternoon as he attempts to reach his first ever semi-final. And of course, if you get to the semis here, you really get the atmosphere, the one table packed out at the weekend.
$16. 17. $24.
Now that really has opened everything up. Goodness me, the Reds have gone in all directions.
25.
I mean, that is positive play, and Robertson is, you know, so much better a player when he is playing like that. He's got a bit resting on this next black, though, of course. not straightforward. Got to be potted from there, out on the cushion. Well, he would have been slightly frustrated there because just sliding past that red, and he's got both reds available to him. Now we'll have to go up for a lower value colour here. If this goes in and he lands on something either blue or pink, then he's in business. And it is gone in, so
33.
This really is an absolutely golden chance to close out this match. You couldn't ask for more.
No, and there's no getting away from it. Judd Trump is a great scalper to land. You know, he's had so much success here and in other venues. The world #1, the man really to be shot at.
He's actually finished dead straight. That's just giving Judd a slight hope, but not much. You know, if any other angle either side, it's such an easy shot to get to his next red. So the cue ball's going to have to just travel a little bit here from red to colour, but it's still, you know, very acceptable. I mean, he'd be delighted with the shot where he opened the balls up from that red.
I thought when the chance came in the last frame, he was very positive. He did speed up and just sort of got on with it, and that's a good sign that you're thinking well. Made 86 to win that 6th frame.
.44. .45.
Just a question of keeping his concentration and determination up here. Staying at the table, he wouldn't want Trump to come back to the table with a chance to win the frame, because he would feel that he probably underachieved at this visit. It's still a great chance. Trump, I don't think he's expecting his opponent to miss, but he's got to be prepared if something did come up his way.
.51. .53. .54.
Yeah, nicely played that cannon. It was a natural, it was unavoidable really, and he's on the brink now.
Yeah, 2 more pots. What a great finish from Neal Robertson. And I think
61.
obviously winning the match was #1 priority, but the way he's won it, the way he's finished off, will give him a lot of confidence. Judd Trump, 3 times champion in the last 5 years. But if Robertson pots this, he's out. The wait for the 100th quarter-final goes on to the next event, but Neal Robertson goes on to the semi-finals. Sorry, to the quarter-finals, I should say. And in the week he was honoured by his country, he's starting to play the sort of snooker that suggests he can achieve more honours on the table. 4 centuries yesterday. Different sort of match tonight. Different sort of vibe. In the end, he's played very well since the interval.
75.
And can finish with a century here. He's actually getting closer to 1,000 centuries. Of course, Trump did that this season, as did John Higgins. 973 for Robertson thus far.
$81. $82.
Yeah, 973 suggests he could make it this season. Of course, if he knocked one off here, that would be better. That would just get him started again.
88.
Somewhere during the World Championships would be quite fitting, wouldn't it?
89.
And I think he enjoys the numbers, you know, he enjoys the stats and stuff like that. It means something to him. He'll certainly enjoy this result, though, because, you know, he's had some battles with Judd Trump over the years, of which some he's won, some he hasn't, of course, including this season.
97.
Well, the red wriggles in, and it is the black for the century. This has been a great finish from Neal Robertson. Satisfying to win, but certainly satisfying to win with 2 terrific frames. 86 in the last, a century in this frame.
106. 109.
Well, that was played with the right-hand side, and of course, when it's the right-hand second cushion, it's got lots of running side on it. It's a lovely shot. I know it's a frame over, but yeah, it's been an enjoyable match, and certainly for Robertson, he'll be pleased with how he's playing, I think, going forward.
124.
His 6th century of the tournament to complete victory.
131.
A 1-3-1 clearance from Neal Robertson. A shake of the hands from Judd Trump. His title defence ends in the last 16. Robertson really picked up the pace, picked up the quality after the interval. 2 really good frames to get it won. He's saluted by the Tempodrom crowd, and they'll see him again tomorrow. He's the winner, 5-2.